Live from Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas, Fox Sports Houston brings you Houston Astros baseball. Tonight, it's Game 2 of a 3-game series. The Astros meeting the St. Louis Cardinals. Good evening, everybody. Bill Brown and Jim DeShays. We witnessed a scintillating shutout from Jay Happ last night, a 2-hitter by the lefty, JD.
How about that? He faced just one over the minimum, a ball game that took just 2 hours to play. Don't know if we'll have that tonight, but we probably should have another outstanding pitching matchup. Indeed, we do. Chris Carpenter, the right-hander for the Cardinals, with a record of 14-4, 2.93 ERA, continues to clip along. He's been one of the best in the National League for a few years now. Wandy Rodriguez, who was really going downhill in the first half, has turned things around in a remarkable way. He's got a 1.62 ERA in August. He's only got one win, though. Hasn't had much run support.
Coming up from Houston, where the Astros are finally at 500 at home for the first time all season. They've won 12 of their last 18 overall. It's a Tuesday night encounter coming your way next. F-150 by Fred Loya Insurance and by Jack in the Box. It was a cloudy day, some rain in the area, but improving. And now, indoors, tonight's HD telecast is presented by your local Lincoln Mercury dealers and the 2010 MKS. Technologically breathtaking. Reach higher with the 2010 Lincoln MKS. As the Astros take the field, Carlos leaves the first one out, and now they're going to let him be the only one on the field for quite a while now. They are having fun. They've won 12 of 18. They were 6-4 on the long road trip and 6-4 on that previous homestand. And then last night, their win here was the 19th for them in their last 28 home games to get to 33-33 at home for the season. Wandy Rodriguez picks up the baseball, and here's the starting lineup for the visiting St. Louis Cardinals he'll be facing tonight. It's John Jay leading it off. He's the right fielder. Colby Rasmus batting second is in center. Albert Pujols with 40 home runs against the Astros is hitting third at first base. The cleanup man is left fielder Matt Holliday. with Yadier Molina catching and hitting fifth. Then it's former Astro Pedro Feliz at third base, Skip Schumacher at second base, Brendan Ryan at shortstop, and Chris Carpenter the pitcher.
Wandy Rodriguez for the Astros tonight. He has been on quite a roll. His last 3 starts combined, he's 1-1 with a 180 earned run average, striking out 22 men, walking but 5 in 20 innings of work, 219 batting average against. So Wandy's been awfully tough to deal with. His August ERA is 1.62. That's the 3rd best in the league. And the outfield features Lee, Bourne, and Pence, and infield Johnson, Manzella, Sanchez, and Wallace. It's a lot like last night. Why not? It's a good game last night. I will stay with it. Jason Castro behind the dish again to catch Wandy.
Brad Mills was joking about having that same lineup. That's something he hasn't often had here in the last several weeks. He said, but I guarantee it will be different tomorrow. Day game coming tomorrow. And he has promised some changes from tonight's lineup. And also the Astros will be adding 5 players to the September roster. And Brian Bogasevic is coming up from AAA Round Rock along with Matt Downs, who was claimed off waivers from the Giants. The second baseman, the catcher Brian Esposito is elevated. Henry VR, the only one coming up from AA Corpus Christi. And Wesley Wright is coming also from Round Rock. So the rosters will be expanded September 1st tomorrow. And all those players will report to the club tomorrow.
So, VR just 23 years of age, a young pitcher. I guess most notable not there, Chris Sampson.
Yeah. John Jay looks at ball 1.
James Hoy, the home plate umpire, is 0 for 1. One pitch into this game, he cannot be perfect tonight.
John Jay fouls that one away. It's a 1-1 strike count on Jay, who leads all rookies in the National League in batting average at .330, 1 point better than Chris Johnson of the Astros. And he's made quite an impression on Tony La Russa with his play this season. Really closes that front shoulder and has the moving hands. You talked about his hitting style earlier this season, but it is quite different, JD.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of movement going on. Ultimately, gets his hand set. That time he did not.
No, he didn't quite have him ready to go, and Carlos Lee takes his fly ball, 1 out.
I think that's the risk whenever there's that much movement. You know, obviously it's a timing mechanism for a hitter, but if you don't get it set in time, you're not ready to pull the trigger. Obviously, hasn't been an issue for him this year. He's hitting .330. The rookie outfielder, really impressive.
Colby Rasmus will follow, and Rasmus at .266 with 19 homers has 54 runs batted in. Very talented young player, 24 years old. He was a first-round pick by the Redbirds in '05, and their top prospect as he progressed through the minor leagues. And there have been apparently some issues lately. Cardinal media really harping on the fact that he did not start that game on Sunday. He had been in the lineup 2 hours before game time, then was pulled from that lineup by Tony La Russa. And it was called a manager's decision, but here he is back in the lineup tonight. He fouls that one back. It's a 1-1 strike count. With the 19 homers, he's displayed his power. And La Russa said in one article, he's had all the work. He's never backed off the work, taking batting practice. I think it all has to do with what his concentration is and what his focus is. Strike on a breaking ball, and it's 1-2 to Rasmus. And La Russa went on to say, you watch his swings in batting practice and in the game, and I think he's convinced that he helps us more if he just yanks the ball out of the park.
Well, if he is yanking the ball out of the park, he is helping you more. Yanking it out of the park is better than a single to left.
That's true. Check swing grounded to third. He does not yank it out of the park. Whoa, Brett Wallace had to snatch that one out of the path of the base runner, Rasmus, before he had a collision there at first. Chris Johnson's throw was a little bit off.
I guess what Tony La Russa is trying to say, he would like to see a little more contact from Colby Rasmus. That's a dangerous play there. We've seen first baseman really get banged up on a play like that where the ball drifts into the base runner. Unfortunately, no harm there. Wow. Call him out on the tag, I assume.
Yeah, must have. And you're right. That could have led to an injury there, the way that throw was in the path of the batter runner, Rasmus. Now it's Albert Pujols. Another phenomenal year, 318, 35 homers, 95 runs batted in. He's hit .420 against Houston, but last night he was 0 for 3 and grounded into a double play.
The Cardinals have been in a bit of a funk of late, but you can't put it on Albert. He's been swinging it very well.
We were told this is the second best month he's ever had in the big leagues. That looked like a good pitch. 2 balls, no strikes to Pujols.
Even if it's called a ball, it's a pitch you can't afford to give up on. Yeah, there's that month of August. Yeah, it was a good pitch, by golly. And on the outside corner at the knees. Here comes a changeup.
Half foul, third base side, 2 balls and a strike. Just an excellent game last night by Jay Happ. And Pujols certainly is a very difficult out, but Happ got him on a double play ball and then another grounder and a fly ball.
Albert had some pitches to hit. Jay, before he really settled in, was struggling a little bit with his command, and he left a couple of pitches right there for Albert. He fouled them off. And you could tell by his the look on his face and his body language that he was very frustrated. Pitches he normally does not miss.
Now 3-1. And Pujols swings at one to make it 3-2. He's a .237 career hitter against Wandy Rodriguez.
That's from the 2-0 changeup, and now he throws him a 3-1 changeup. But normally very disciplined, but aggressive there on 3-1, cheating on a heater.
And
wow. Wow. Wandy doing the walk-off.
Pujols does the walk.
Well, just stayed off that outside edge. Albert looking at him as if to say, where are you going?
Albert drawing the 80th walk. He is second in the league in walks. Now Matt Holliday is the batter. Holliday takes. That one's down around the knees for strike one on the fastball from Wandy. Wandy has 11 quality starts in his last 12. 301 for Holliday, 23 bombs. He's driven in 81, but Houston has held him to a 170 average, although he does have 12 runs batted in.
With so many games within the division, obviously the hitters get to know the pitchers well, and pitchers get to know the opposing hitters quite well. Wandy making his 9th start against St. Louis in the last 2 seasons.
Two balls and a strike. In his career, he's 4-11 against St. Louis with a 4.30 ERA.
5 times against them last year. This is his 4th start this season. Last time on July 11th, he got beat 4-2. Pitched pretty well, though, allowed 3 runs in 6 innings.
Holliday ripped a 3-run homer off him in that game. This one off the mid of Castro, and Pujols is able to advance to second base.
There's one part of Jason's game that needs a little polishing. Framing the ball, moving around back there. He's very athletic, but sometimes blocking the ball is an issue.
Came into this game with 4 pass balls. Now a 3-1 count. And Holliday fouls it. It was ruled a wild pitch, getting Pujols from first to second base.
I'm not sure if that should have been ruled a wild pitch or a pass ball, but the bottom line is there's been a number of times where balls that Jason should have been able to at least corral and keep in front of him have been able to scoot through, and the base runner has been able to take the base.
That is strike 3. Came inside on the corner. Holliday didn't think so James Hoy has not made a whole lot of friends here in the first inning, and it's a scoreless ball game. the starting lineup, and it is the same as last night except for the pitcher for Brad Mills. Michael Bourne, center field. Angel Sanchez, second base. Hunter Pence batting third in right field. Then it's Carlos Lee, the cleanup man in left. Chris Johnson at third base. Brett Wallace at first. Tommy Manzella at shortstop. Jason Casper, the catcher. Wandy Rodriguez does the pitching.
A big right-hander, Chris Carpenter, having another outstanding year for the St. Louis Cardinals against the Astros in his career. 16 starts, 7 wins, 4 losses, a 2.82 ERA. This year, 1 win, 1 loss in 2 starts.
Michael Bourne on a 9-game hitting streak. Looks at the Carpenter sinker, and it's ball 1. 254 for Michael. 2 homers, 30 runs batted in. He's at 298 against St. Louis. Bounces this one, and it's backhanded. Pujols with the toss. Carpenter safe at first. Oh, Pujols throws his hands to his head. Carpenter cannot believe the call at first. Laz Diaz made that call, and we've got a little fracas going at first base.
Well, at first glance, I thought they got him. Let's take a look at the replay. Pujols flips it out in front of Carpenter to try to lead him to the bag, and yeah, Laz Diaz missed that one. Astros catch a break. And gets in good position, has a good look at it, and just blew it.
Diaz with a safe call. That gives Bourne an infield hit and a 10-game hitting streak. Tony La Russa came out. Bourne with 33 infield hits, tied for third in the majors. And Chris Carpenter, an intense competitor.
If we were in Little League, we'd be replaying that one right now.
Yeah, you're right. And it would be overturned.
Because it matters more at the Little League World Series.
268 for Angel Sanchez with 17 runs batted in. He's hit 400 against the Redbirds with 6 runs batted in. Carpenter with the toss. And Carpenter is a workhorse and a fiery competitor. Has the best winning percentage in the league. Bourne is 44 of 55 in steals. Molina has thrown out 22 of 54, 42%. Carpenter has allowed only 2 steals. Bourne takes off, swing and a miss. Throw from Molina, perfect. And the tag. Schumacher got him, caught stealing for 2-4, erasing Bourne.
Because of Molina's arm and how quickly Carpenter unloads the ball, straight steal is very difficult, so Brad Mills puts a hit and run play on, counting on Sanchez to make contact. You see, Michael had a fairly modest lead, and when Sanchez came up empty, even with Michael Bourne running, it looked like it was going to be fairly easy at second base.
Now Sanchez grounds back to Carpenter. 2 outs.
Well, maybe justice has been served.
Maybe.
Maybe not. Holiday Rasmus, speaking of justice, John Jason, right field. Infield of Feliz, Ryan, Schumacher, and Pujols. And Yadier Molina has thrown out 23 of 54 now.
Hopefully Richard Justice is here tonight covering this game as well. Well, Molina guns down another, and now it's Hunter Pence. 283 for Hunter. 20 home runs and 70 driven in. And that's a wicked pitch for strike 1.
Carpenter gets good sink on the fastball, but he can throw it by you too. He can elevate with a 4-seamer, has very good breaking stuff. Curveball, slider, both plus pitches.
Grounder back to him again. So the ball stays on the infield, and Carpenter puts up a 0. It's 0-0 after 1.
If you would like to learn more about Chevy's commitment to Youth League Baseball, visit ChevyTexasBaseball.com.
Nothing game. Wandy Rodriguez faces Yadier Molina. Cardinals are facing a lefty for the third straight game. They went up against John Lannon in Washington Sunday. There's ball one to Molina. 263 is his average. 5 homers. He's driven in 48. Last night, Yadier got one of the 2 Cardinal hits. They were both singles in the game. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
Oxtrack had it the other way around because he called the first pitch a ball and the second one a strike.
Fly ball to right, Hunter Pence. So we're already into this evening up thing where Michael Bourne is safe instead of out. Then he's thrown out at second base. Strange beginning to this one. Pedro Feliz was saying tonight he really likes the guys in St. Louis. He'd love to be back playing with them again next year. He's hit well in a Cardinal uniform. And he's a good defender at third base. He's hitting .233 for the season, but .304 with St. Louis in 46 at-bats for Pedro. Nice strike one to him. David Freese was the guy, the rookie third baseman, when the season opened, but he got hurt.
David Freese started to get some buzz regarding the Rookie of the Year award. There's so many talented rookies in the National League this year. You didn't hear much about Freese early, but the way he performed started to create a little buzz, and then he got hurt.
He had a couple of injuries. The recent one was dropping a 75-pound weight on his foot, and that took him out for the year.
Gee, I wonder why he did that. That's not a good idea at all.
Still 1-2. With that J-2 hitter against the Cardinals, that took people back over the last 10 seasons. The only other pitchers to hold St. Louis to 2 or fewer hits and 9-inning shutout win were Jeff Francis of the Rockies in 06, Brandon Webb in 06, and Tim Lincecum in 09.
He's putting the helmet on after that screamer went in there.
Yeah. Protect the teeth at all costs, Pete. You know, that was all covered by netting, but then Brad Mills wanted to cut out this year so he could see better from the dugout, but that does also present other problems with balls coming into the dugout. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So there's that cutout now.
So there's just enough netting there to give you a false sense of security.
Little looper, and Sanchez is out for it. Oh, he got there. He really looked uncertain. Started back, then he slowed down, then he had to put on a little burst to get the looper by Feliz.
He made a real nice play on a ball in shallow right field last night at the end of the ball game, and here at the end, times his leap and able to haul that one in.
Maybe Aaron Brooks schooled him on that.
Probably won't get any recruiting letters from the Bolshoi Ballet after that effort, but the bottom line is he hauled it in.
Strike to Skip Schumacher. 269 for Skip, 4 homers, 36 runs batted in.
Hey, Aaron Brooks, a bunch of the Rockets are out here taking BP today. That was fun. Can't hit a lick, not a one of them.
Wallace to first. It's a 1-2-3 second. And maybe they have something in common with some other people. It's 0-0. Game hitting streak. There's ball one to Carlos in the dirt. He's hit 175 in his career against Chris Carpenter, but lately he's been an RBI machine. He had a pop fly RBI double last night and a walk. Get to 77 runs batted in for the year now.
The current roster of the Astros collectively has a 198 batting average against Chris Carpenter.
Sounds like a challenging evening.
Not a lot of guys in this lineup feeling pretty comfortable stepping into the box against the big right-hander.
But this month of August has made him confident. Carlos hits a fly ball to center field. Colby Rasmus comes in. That's one out. And we go to Bart Ennis.
Yeah, Brownie, a great event coming up on Saturday, September 18th. First of all, you've got the Astros and Reds at 6:05 that night, but then stick around after the game and enjoy a concert with Texas country music legend Robert Earl Keen. It's an exciting night of baseball and music. Those tickets are going to go fast, so go to Astros.com/REK to get yours tonight. Brownie, back to you.
Oh, we are going to stick around for that. That is a must. Fun evening. One out for Chris Carpenter, and now here is Chris Johnson. He's 1 point behind John Jay for that rookie batting lead in the National League at 329. He has 6 homers, 36 runs batted in, and also ranks high in other offensive departments for National League rookies. Gets a big hammer, and it's no balls, 2 strikes. Last night, CJ had a hit and scored a run, going 1 for 3. Rolled out to shortstop. Brendan Ryan plays it. 2 outs for Carpenter. Carpenter is 4-1 on the road with a 3.20 ERA.
Yeah, yesterday, the Cardinals, a number of them shaved their heads. A symbol of solidarity, or just trying to have some fun to lighten the mood. Now let's take a look first at Brett Wallace. 3 hits last night. Very impressive swings all. Using the legs to go down and get an off-speed breaking ball. Driving a double into the left center field alley.
Now he hits a 1-hopper to Albert Pujols, and that's a 1-2-3 second with no score. Ryan struggling through a 218 type of year. And he bounces one up the middle, headed for center field, and Sanchez stops it, but it's still a hit. He throws behind him back to first. Ryan gets the first Cardinal hit of the night.
Ryan, I think, thought that ball had gotten through to the outfield. Almost took too big of a turn.
Jack in the Box standings show you the National League's top records this month. 18-8 Cincinnati, 17-10 Philadelphia and Atlanta. Houston 16-12. In fact, it's the third straight month for the Astros to play 500 ball or better. They were 14-14 in June. Chris Carpenter takes ball one. The Astros have not had 3 consecutive months at 500 or better since May through July of 03. Carpenter has 7 sacrifices and 6 hits, a 105 batting average. Looks down at Jose Oquendo for his marching orders. He's swinging and bouncing it foul. 1-1. Carpenter last met Wandy in 09 in St. Louis and beat him 3-1 with a complete game effort. Oquendo was called the secret weapon. He was a Cardinal player, came off the bench and played a number of positions.
He even pitched a couple of times.
Yeah. Carpenter takes it. It's a strike. 1-2 to Chris.
Well, he pulled the bat back and took a swing at the first strike. And probably doing that because of how aggressive Chris Johnson was coming in from third base. CJ's been able to do. Lance Berkman did it before him, coming from those corners so aggressively, kind of gets in the bunter's head a little bit.
Carpenter, 35 years old, first round pick of the Blue Jays in '93. He's had a big time career, 131 wins, 78 losses. Cy Young Award in 05. He was 21-5 that year. A 13-game winning streak. He strikes out. Out number 1, strikeout number 2 for Wandy Rodriguez.
First couldn't really commit to the bunt, not sure what he wanted to do up there, and then ultimately made a couple feeble attempts at it. Tough to bunt that curveball, though. He's got such a sharp, tight curveball.
John Jay hit the fly ball to left field leading off the game. He's had a .379 on base average. Strike 1 to Jay. He's come up through the Cardinal system after being drafted in the second round in 06, a native of Miami, Florida. Had a big series here in July with 5 hits and 12 at bats. Jay's come in for a lot of playing time after hitting .281 at Memphis last season. Seems to be gaining in favor. The more the Cardinals look at him, La Russa likes him a lot. He likes the way he takes a single when it's there or a walk. It's 0-2 and lets the home runs come, but doesn't try to force it at the plate. Cardinals have looked at different combinations after the trade of Ryan Ludwig to San Diego. Upstairs for a ball, and it's 1-2. Wandy's been in a very nice groove. Tough start for him. 3-10, an ERA over 6 the third week in June. Last 12 starts, 7-2 with a 1.79 ERA.
His ERA goes down just about every time he goes to the hill. It's one good start after another. Jay had last night off against left-hander Jay Happ, just because it would have been too confusing for us. Tony good enough to do that, but back in there against Wandy. He's been good against lefties this year, hitting .356, and Wandy has not dominated left-handed hitters, at least in terms of the batting average, the way Jay Happ has.
Left-handers hitting .260 against Wandy, right-handers .266. Jay pokes one through the left side. That's a single. Ryan to second base. The Cardinals have something working with Colby Rasmus batting next.
And Jay doing a nice job here. Earlier in the at bat, he was out in front of a breaking ball. This time he stays back a little bit better and just hits that soft line drive into left field. Good solid approach.
Dave McKay's the coach at first. 2 men on for Colby Rasmus now.
So Rasmus, much more of a free swinger than is Jay, but a far more dangerous hitter too with those 19 home runs. And he can turn on a good fastball.
He doesn't get one there, and he takes it for a strike.
I would think Wandy's game plan would be to keep the fastball out of the strike zone as much as possible against Rasmus. Try to maybe push him back with a heater in on the hands or paint the outside corner, but I suspect he's going to try to get him out with that curveball.
0-2 to Rasmus, who missed a couple of weeks with a strained right calf.
I'm not sure what this was. Look, maybe a changeup, a little cutting action.
Whatever it was, it really worked, and now he's got the hitter Rasmus in an 0-2 hole. One ball, 2 strikes. Albert Pujols on deck, and his presence is always known by the other team. Even though Wandy's 4-11 lifetime against the Redbirds, in his last 7 starts here against St. Louis, his ERA is 2.62. Yanked foul. While the Cardinals have lost 11 of 15, the Reds have just shot right past them into a 6-game lead in the NL Central.
And they came from behind last night, ultimately won a game in 10 innings over Milwaukee, and they have the jump on them this evening as well. There you see it, 4-1. And they called up the young phenom from Cuba, Aroldis Chapman. He of the 105-mile-an-hour fastball. Will now be working out of the Reds bullpen.
The fact that they called him up today is significant because that makes him eligible for the postseason roster. Pitches ball 2. They got him up before September 1st. And he could be quite an impact player, not only in September, but in postseason if the Reds make it. Strike 3 call. What a big pitch by Wandy Rodriguez for strikeout number 3. And Pujols coming up now.
Absolutely locked him up with that curveball. Manny Ramirez joins the White Sox in Cleveland tonight after a trip with a barber. And Chapman, who's been lighting up the radar gun at AAA, now moves into the Reds bullpen. And that bullpen's got some big arms to begin with Massett and Cordero and company.
Pujols takes strike 1. Manny faced Sal the Barber Magley.
I think he did.
Pujols walk first time up. Holiday on deck. And this is where it can really get dicey. Pujols at the plate. 2 outs, 2 on. It's 1-1. Albert making a strong bid for the Triple Crown, along with the Reds' Joey Votto. The Rockies' Carlos Gonzalez. 50 pitches so far for Wandy Rodriguez. It's going to be hard, though, if Omar Infante gets enough plate appearances to qualify for the batting title, for those guys to beat him out. He's up around 344 right now, and if he averages 4.5 plate appearances for every remaining game, he'll qualify. Pujols magnificent in these situations.
He's got to average 4.5 plate appearances for every game.
Yeah, that's. But if he doesn't, they can still take the over.
Ah, I see it. Chop away. Yep. Yeah, so whatever his batting average is, if he comes up 10 at-bats shy, 10 plate appearances shy, then they just give him an 0 for 10.
Yes.
And if his average is still high enough, he could win the title.
Driven deep to center field. Michael Bourne backing, and that is caught for out number 3. No runs, 2 hits, 2 men left, and it's 0-0 in the 3rd.
Astros history is brought to you by the MD Anderson Cancer Center, making cancer history. August 31st, 1990. That man becomes the property of the Houston Astros in the trade for Larry Anderson. Sox did not want to give up Scott Cooper, but were willing to pass Jeff Bagwell along. That turned out pretty darn good.
Just happened to ask him about that yesterday, in fact. There's strike one. Tommy Manzella, who's on a 3-game hitting streak. Bounces one to second base. Play by Schumacher over to first, 1 out. And, of course, Jeff was so delighted that he was drafted by his hometown Boston Red Sox and had a good year at Double-A. He said we were 3 games away from making the playoffs, and I got news about the trade. And he said, I was pretty shocked. Pretty unhappy at that time, but he said a day or two later, my dad and I were driving somewhere, and he said, you know, son, this could be a great break for you because Houston is rebuilding, and you're going to get a shot at playing. Jason Castro with ball 1. Then he said, I went to spring training, and I watched Ken Caminetti playing third, which was my position at the time, and he started out with hits in his first 10 straight at-bats or something like that. I thought, oh boy. And his dad said, well, you know, Tucson's a really nice place, Jeff.
Yeah, you know, the ball really carries well off the tee.
That's out toward left field. Holiday back. 2 outs. Bart?
Yeah, Bill, we want to remind fans that they can join the Astros tomorrow to honor a broadcasting legend. Before the Astros face off against the Cardinals at 1:05, Milo Hamilton will be honored for 65 years of broadcasting excellence. Enjoy $6 50-cent terrace deck tickets to commemorate his anniversary. And to get those tickets, you go to Astros.com/Milo. Brownie?
Thank you, Bart. Wandy Rodriguez takes, and there's strike 1 to Wandy. Carpenter needed only 13 pitches in the first 2 innings. And Wandy grounds 1 to second.
So 3 innings, 20 pitches.
And he's faced only 9 men. And it's 0-0. And it is very comfortable here at Minute Maid Park tonight. We've had a lot of rain in the area. Of course, tons of humidity, but no problem for these folks. They're in the Haynes comfort zone right now. Enjoying a nice evening. Major League Baseball, Astros and Cardinals in air-conditioned comfort. And the usual nothing score after 3. These two have played time after time, well-pitched, low-scoring games over the years. Just really enjoyable baseball. Matt Holliday leads it off in the 4th inning. He struck out looking in the first, much to his chagrin and disagreement with the James Loy call. Ball 1-2. Wandy really stiffened there when he had 2 men on and 1 out, striking out Rasmus looking and getting Pujols and fly ball to center. As the Cardinals threaten. And the Astros really haven't done anything against Carpenter. They got the ruling of a hit from Michael Bourne, which really shouldn't have been. So he really should technically have a perfect game going through 3. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, and the fact that he's done it so easily. There's 20 pitches, so he barely has broken a sweat in these 3 innings.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Holiday almost got nicked by that one.
Wandy's doing a nice job because his curveball is such a good pitch for him, but if the hitters start to look for it and stay back, he's got to be able to pitch hard inside with the fastball to keep them honest.
It's 3-2. Wandy is 37-26 in his career at Eddie Maid Park. A 3.49 ERA. He's got a big pitch coming here to the slugger. And he got him to go for a curveball in the dirt, struck him out. Number 4.
That thing just drops off the table. It just great execution of that curveball by Wandy, knowing that Holiday's an RBI guy. He's looking to swing the bat. Throws him a good curveball. Doesn't really worry about leaving it in the strike zone. Feels like if I can make one close enough, I'll get him to fish.
Yadier Molina takes, and it's strike 1 to Molina. He hit the fly ball to right in the 2nd inning. Well, the Cardinals got together in a show of unity, shaved their heads yesterday. Tony La Russa said he would shave his if they ever got to a 5-game lead over the Reds. So trail by 6 now. That would be an 11-game turnaround in the month of September.
Yeah.
Do you recall anything like that happening in the history of baseball?
I don't know. I
think he's safe.
Yeah, he's hedging a little bit. I mean, I think he should come out with if we catch the Reds.
Yeah. That'd be fun. Fly ball to center. Michael Bourne back. They have a head-to-head series coming up starting Friday night in St. Louis. 2 outs now. And we see the Braves 3 up on the Phillies. The Reds 6 up on the Cardinals. And the Padres 5 up on the Giants.
These races that have been tight so long, they're starting to get a little separation in both the National and the American League. Wild card is interesting. Phillies with a 1.5 lead over the Giants.
Giants playing later at home against Colorado. That's a big series. Phillies at LA. Pedro Feliz takes strike 1. In the wild card, the Cardinals are 3 games out in 3rd place. Well, now, if the Astros players ever did that, Brad Mills would be safe.
Yeah, he'd have to grow hair. He'd have to wear a toupee, wear a George Costanza toupee.
Yeah. It's 2-1 to Pedro Feliz. Cincinnati leads Milwaukee 4-1. They played 4 at Great American Ballpark. Johnny Gomes hit his 15th homer. Aaron Harang has returned from the DL to start tonight. Strike makes it 2-2. So you talk about Chapman joining the Reds in the bullpen now. It really gives them a force. And now starting tomorrow, we'll begin to see these September call-ups. Chapman was not, but we'll see a lot of these rosters swelling by tomorrow with the extra players. 3 balls and 2 strikes for Wandy Rodriguez.
Yeah, it's a kind of a bizarre deal in baseball. You expand the rosters for the final month of the season. Kind of changes the rules of the game where all of a sudden managers have all these extra players at their disposal that they didn't have for the first 5 months of the season.
It is. It's playing the game by different rules, really. And that's ball 4. 2-out walk to Feliz. Number 2 for Wandy. They both come with 2 outs in the inning. And Schumacher will follow. And the Astros called up 5 players. Schumacher hit a ground ball to Wallace for the final out in the 2nd inning. So if you're one of those 5 players, you can pretty well figure that they're going to take a nice look at you in September. And, maybe you can get yourself in a position to be in the mix next year. Certainly no guarantees at all with ball 1. And the exception to that would probably be Brian Esposito, who's been briefly in the major leagues in 07 for 1 inning as a catcher. Has never had an at-bat, but a journeyman minor leaguer. Ground ball to short. Anzella over to Wallace. No runs, no hits, and a man stranded through 3.5. There's no score. He reached on the infield hit because of the blown call by the umpire at first base. Laz Diaz leading off the Astros first. Then he was thrown out on a blown hit and run play. So there's ball 1 from Chris Carpenter. And he misses down with that one. 2 balls, no strikes. Carpenter really has been tough against everybody, but also has proven to be exactly that, a tough competitor against the Astros down through the years. Got a great record against the teams in his division. But just going back through all of his starts, JD, the first start against the Astros for him was in 04. Since then, he's been nails. Gone 6 innings or more in 17 consecutive starts, including postseason against the Astros. Bourne, a sharp grounder, misplayed by Schumacher. And Bourne hit it sharply at him. Ball might have come up on him as Michael reaches for the 2nd time.
He's just destined to be on base tonight. Whether it's the umpire's fault or an infielder's fault, he's going to get on base. Not an easy chance for Schumacher. Hit sharply, but right at him. A play that should have been made.
He got it off to the side. And that'll be his 15th error for Schumacher. Now Sanchez takes strike 1. You know, the thought would be, well, we tried to hit and run once. It didn't work.
Try it again.
Okay. Well, that really is a solid approach because it's so tough to get anything going against Carpenter.
Well, I'm not saying you have to try it again, but you cannot allow the fact that it busted on you last time influence your decision. If you think it's a good play this time for whatever reason, you can't let the fact that Sanchez didn't make contact last time stop you from putting the play on. And Carpenter's got a good sinker tonight. He's got a lot of ground balls. So if it's a little routine ground ball to short, they're going to turn another double play on you.
Pitch out. 2-1 now. This would be a good count if they want to send the runner.
This is the baseball 101 hit and run count. 2 balls and 1 strike. I assume they're not going to pitch out. Now, if you do put a hit and run play on here, I think what Michael has to do is get a little bit more aggressive lead and treat it like he's trying to steal the base. Normally in the hit and run, the onus is on the hitter to put the ball in play. But give yourself a chance to steal the bag in case it comes up empty like you did last time.
He's going. Whoa. Sanchez fouls it, took a shot. And we've seen that work many times with Michael going and Sanchez hitting the ball to right field.
Combination of Carpenter and Molina essentially takes away one of the Astros' best weapons. That's the Michael Bourne stolen base. One reason the Astros are trying to hit and run with this combination is because the Cardinals are so good at shutting down the straight steal.
Yeah, they have held the Astros to 4 steals in 9 tries this year. Astros are 12-4 here in their home ballpark since the 27th of July. That's the best home record in the National League in that period of time. They're 8-5 for the season series against St. Louis. Final game tomorrow. Line into center, a hit. Getting Bourne to second base. Well hit ball by Sanchez. And the Astros have 2 men on and nobody out with Hunter Pence coming up.
It would be interesting to take a look at hitters' batting averages with Michael Bourne on first base in running situations versus that same hitter when he's up there and Michael Bourne's not on base. He is such a distraction for the pitcher. It takes away so much of the concentration. Try to hurry the pitch, and sometimes the location suffers. Two-hole hitter can take advantage.
Carpenter has thrown 10 pitches in this inning. Hunter Pence the batter. Off the plate, ball 1. Hunter grounded back to the pitcher earlier. He's a .300 career hitter against this club. Last night he had 2 singles to right field. Hit them both sharply. Fly ball goes to center, backing up Rasmus with his back to the infield. Over Rasmus, up on Taos Hill, behind the flagpole. 2 runs are going to score. Here's Pence into third base. What an amazing place to hit the baseball. Right behind the flagpole in center field for a 2-run triple.
Man, is he strong. See the ball come off his bat, you don't think he hit it all that well, and it just carries and carries and carries. It's a high slider out away from him, and he reaches out and gets extended through it. Looks like that ball almost dropped on top of Rasmus' head. Sanchez had cozied up right behind Michael Bourne at second base, so they come trotting home together.
Third triple this year for Hunter. This one drives in a couple. And now with nobody out, he's at third for Carlos Lee. Skip Schumacher is playing about halfway now. He backs up. And there's strike 1 to Carlos. Carlos hit a fly ball to center in the second. Trying to get this runner home now from third. The shortstop Ryan is playing at about halfway. Now he's backing up. And now Schumacher comes in. He's running in. Now Ryan comes in. 1-1.
We start back. Ryan's coming about halfway. Schumacher all the way in because Carlos is more likely to hit the ball with authority on the pull side. And if he could hit a little squibber off the end of the bat to the right side, Schumacher wants to be a little bit tighter to have a chance of throwing Hunter out of home plate on that ball.
1-2. Our league leaders comes to you courtesy of Texas Ford Dealers. Look at the Major League RBI leaders for the month of August. Casey McGee, number 1. Then it's Carlos, number 2. Followed by Adam Dunn, Albert Pujols, and Adrian Beltre.
With nobody out, highly unlikely that Hunter Pence is going on contact here. But if you play all the way back at shortstop and second base, then you're basically giving him a free pass on a ground ball up the middle.
Infielders creeping in. And Carlos strikes out.
So by moving in, you force the runner on third to read the play. And I think it gets in the hitter's head a little bit too with those infielders crashing.
Looked like he came out of his game plan a little bit on that at bat.
We're breezing through the first three, and he's run into a little issue here in the fourth. Started with the error by Schumacher. Good tough at bat by Sanchez, and then the triple after the Sanchez single by Pence.
Chris Johnson looks at ball one.
A different set of circumstances now with one out. This is where you tend to gamble a little bit more down there at third base and put the contact play on. As soon as the ball's hit on the ground, go.
Brett Wallace is on deck. Infielders moving in closer. Lined over the drawn in. Schumacher into right field. RBI single. Chris Johnson. 3-0 Houston. Schumacher had moved in and the ball went over him into right. 37th run batted in for Johnson.
CJ has the uncanny ability to slow his bat down on an off-speed pitch or a breaking ball. It just seems like he gets the start and then he'll kind of take a nice, easy pass at that breaking ball. He serves this one into right field.
That's RBI number 37 for Chris Johnson. 3-run lead, and Brett Wallace, the batter. Wallace is hit by the pitch. He had a big night last night, going 3 for 3. And now drilled in the right leg by that Carpenter pitch.
And he was very good at hitting the ball out away from him yesterday, so they're trying to throw a cut fastball in on his hands here. Brett Wallace leads the club in being hit by pitch now. He's only been here, what, 30 days or so?
Yeah. Let's see. Well, that's 6 times. Carpenter has 12 hit batsmen. Now Tommy Manzella has runners at first and second and 1 out. Ball one to Manzella. Bounced out the second earlier. Carpenter has the 9th best ERA in the league coming into this game, 2.93. The inning started with an error. That's a strike.
So that run, Michael Bourne's run, will be unearned. The other 2 earned.
It's interesting recently that Manzella, who was out for weeks with his injury, and also Wallace, both talked about how much they learned watching the game. Check swing. Carpenter juggles, throws to the shortstop. Ryder drops it.
I don't know.
I do not know. He didn't have it very long.
I don't know about this one.
Wally Bell called him out at second, but did he ever have possession of the throw from Carpenter?
Cardinals couldn't get anything going offensively last night. Tonight a little sloppy defensively. First the bobble by Carpenter. Yeah, I guess it's okay. Yeah. On that look, it looked like he did. Looked like he caught it and he's reaching in to get it when it came out. He's trying to be quick.
Ball sliding into him. And that is out number 2 with runners at first and third for Jason Castro now. Castro hit a fly ball to left.
The middle infielder loves that when you got a big guy like Wallace bearing in on you, and then the guy who's giving you the feed bobbles the ball and takes a little extra time.
Yeah, he was hung out. And Castro had no luck last night. Hit the ball sharply into some outs. Rounded into 2 double plays. One of those balls was blistered to the second baseman. He lined out to right. 2-0 to Jason. Greg Biggio joined us last night and said he was chatting with Jason about what he hit his first year as a major league catcher. 211, I believe, for Bidge. How difficult it is to succeed offensively in the beginning.
Yeah, it was interesting what Craig said last night about catching when he first came to the big leagues. He said he just kept putting numbers down until he put the right one. So the pitcher said, yeah, that's the one I want. Let's go. But the game has changed. Pitchers don't call their own game as much now as as back in the day. So I think there's more of a burden on a young catcher to learn the pitcher, know what he wants to throw, do all the scouting report stuff with the pitching coach. Much more analysis and pregame scouting goes on than went on back then.
Now it's 3 balls and a strike.
But at the end of the day, that's still the bottom line. We put the numbers down to get the one the pitcher wants. And I think there's more responsibility on the veteran pitchers to be able to take a young catcher and say, here's what I want to do. Here's what I'm thinking in certain counts against certain hitters.
3-1 to Castro. Rodriguez on deck. That one got away from Carpenter. He walked him to load the bases. A rough inning as he faces his 9th batter. That's his first walk of the night.
Amazing how this game works. 9 outs on 20 pitches through 3 innings. Things blowing up on him here in the 4th.
The last time out at Washington, he got a no decision. He gave up 6 runs, 3 of them earned in 6 innings on 10 hits. Wandy Rodriguez grounded out. Bounces this one to first. Pujols fields the 2-hopper and takes it to first. And the Astros in the 4th inning come up with 3 runs on 3 hits. With an error, they left 3. It's 3-0 Houston after 4. By Brake Check and by Gullo Automotive. In downtown Houston, the Astros fans hoping they get the chance to see this club go above 500 at home for the first time all season. They were 0-6 on that first homestand. They've been trying to catch up ever since then, and they have really put together a nice burst. Wandy Rodriguez now will take a 3-0 lead to the 5th inning.
It takes that lead into the 5th inning, having to face 8-9-1 in the Cardinal batting order, so a real good chance to post a 0 here. And it's so important after your club puts a crooked number on there. Get back out there, put a quick 0 on the board, get the boys back in the dugout.
Good game so far for Wandy. Maneuvering out of trouble in the 3rd inning by getting Rasmus and Pujols. Ryan singled to start that 3rd inning. Showing bunt there, and he takes a curveball for ball 1. A gem last night by Jay Happ was the first time an Astro lefty hurled a complete game, allowing 2 hits or less since Bob Knepper threw a 1-hit, 1-0 shutout over Atlanta in '88 in the Astrodome. 1-1. Knepper and you, JD, are the only southpaws in franchise history to have 2 complete games allowing 2 hits or less.
How about me? Aren't I special? Yay, me.
Well, let's see. Patty Smith got the special treatment last night. So you're getting it tonight. And we've got to do something for Bart. 3 balls and a strike to Brendan Ryan. Bart was kind of treated like an also-ran. Bart, were you watching last night by chance?
I mean, is it going to be a surprise? Should I leave the park or
no?
Okay. Yes, I was watching last night. I saw the poster of Patty, and I know that Patty is, she's got the poster thing going. She's already been all over the internet once this year. She's out there trolling for controversy.
Yeah.
I guess she's, I gotta get out there.
I think you do. In fact, we have an idea for this week to kind of even things up.
Okay.
You get to host Astros Insider all by yourself.
Hey, that sounds great.
Chris Johnson takes care of out number 1. So that's Bart Ennis with Astros Insider this week, all by himself. AT&T trivia question is, post-World War II, excluding Bob Gibson, who are the 4 players who pitched for St. Louis who are in the Hall of Fame?
Or, including Bob Gibson, who are the 5 pitchers who pitched for St. Louis that are in the Hall of Fame?
Okay, let's see. There was Bob Gibson. And
that way we're sure of getting one.
How about Steve Carlton?
Steve Carlton for sure.
And Bruce Sutter?
Bruce Sutter for sure.
Chris Carpenter.
And, if you remember, Dennis Eckersley had a little run in St. Louis.
That's right. That's 3. Now, who's the other one?
Well, that's the $1 million question.
Little tap, third base. Chris Johnson over to Brad Wallace. 2 outs.
I think it's going to be somebody like that who was known for his work elsewhere and spent a little time in St. Louis.
All right, let's find out who it is.
Drum roll, please.
Tilt. What?
Tilt Wilhelm.
Wilhelm pitched for the Cardinals?
Well, he pitched about 40 years.
Okay, we're told it was 1957, JD.
That is correct.
Interesting. Didn't know that.
Wilhelm. He pitched in a whole lot of baseball games in his career. For the longest time, he was the all-time leader in games pitched. I think he's been passed by.
Yeah. He went over 1,000, right?
Yeah. I think Orozco's got that title now.
I think you're right.
Wilhelm. Yeah, 1,070 ball games spanning 1952 and 1972, a knuckleballer. And that's the fun thing about it. He broke in at age 29.
Wow.
And finished at age 49. And that's why this R.A. Dickey cat over there for the Mets, even though he's 35, he's a young man. He could pitch another 10, 12 years.
2 balls and a strike to John Jay. Let's see, he was, pretty pedestrian, 57 for St. Louis, 1-4 with a 4.25 ERA. So a lot of folks would not remember him as a Cardinal. 2 balls and 2 strikes for Wandy, who's thrown 82 pitches. Astros bullpen now certainly in good shape after the complete game by Jay Happ. That's lined out into center field. Michael Bourne is there. It's a 1-2-3 fifth. And the Astros come up in the bottom half leading 3-0. last night by that same score. And now as they lead by that score, they go to the bottom of the 5th inning, and it's Michael Bourne. He led off the 4th inning by reaching on the error by Schumacher. And earlier, he was ruled safe at first on an infield hit, even though he was beaten to the bag by Chris Carpenter.
I've got a feeling he's going to reach on catcher's interference this time.
There's strike one on a foul tip. Did you happen to catch any of that Dodger game last night with the Phillies?
Well, I had it on the radio on the way home. I heard Vinny doing the call. And then I flipped to Charlie and Rick in the 4th. I heard a little bit of that. And then I got home, and that was about the end of it. What happened?
Well, Hiroki Kuroda first took a no-hitter into I believe it was the 9th inning, or the 8th inning. And that was the 18th game which went into the 8th inning with a pitcher having a no-hitter this year.
Yeah, he was dealing, when I was listening, they were pretty giddy about what he was doing.
Rightfully so. Bourne punches one over shortstop, and that, of course, is a hit for Michael Bourne. He's unstoppable tonight.
He will not be denied. No error, no miscue, no bad call. But just a little bleeder, a little something in the shallow left.
Little topspin lob.
Yep. Boy, and that just as a pitcher, and now you got to deal with Bourne on base again with the threat of the steal and all that. It just annoys the heck out of you.
Angel Sanchez lined a single to center field earlier. And there's ball one. And he scored along with Michael on the 2-run triple by Hunter Pence, which rolled up Tal's Hill. We haven't seen one of those in a while.
No, actually went around the pole and around the pole triple by Hunter Pence.
That might be a first in this ballpark. It almost appeared that it might get trapped behind that pole, and we haven't seen that before either. There are a few nuances on that flagpole in play. Michael's been caught stealing twice in a game, once in his career. Bunted, and it goes foul.
Not a bad idea there. Try to bunt for a base hit. And if they make a play on you, at least you've pushed the man along. 3-0 ball game in the middle innings. Normally this is a little early to start thinking about straight sacrifice to play for a run. That's why I like the idea of bunting for a hit there. But the way Wandy's going, you could think in those terms now, just trying to pad this 3-run lead.
Carpenter up with that one. And it's 2-1.
This next inning will be a big one. Cardinals have 2, 3, 4 coming up in the top half of the 6th.
Matt Lindstrom is scheduled to pitch an inning for Corpus Christi tonight in his first rehab appearance. He'll have a 25 pitch limit. And he should be back on the roster tomorrow, from what Brad Mills was estimating before the game tonight, but he said I would try not to use him tomorrow. It's a day game. And Jeff Keppinger will be back tomorrow. He's here tonight, but he'll be activated for the September 1st game after he had a couple of rehab games in the minors. Now back. So Sanchez has been playing a lot of second base. Now Keppinger back, and he's going to be playing a lot of healthy in the month of September. And there's the matchup. Jeff Suppan also will be coming off the disabled list tomorrow to take that start against Nelson Figueroa. He'll be on the air at 12:30. We'll see a lot of new players on these major league clubs as of September 1. Cardinals have announced their call-ups as well. Runner going, and it's foul. No call-up. Houston native Nick Stavinola, who's been with them several times before, an outfielder, and catcher Matt Pagnozzi from Memphis.
Hey, I recognize that name.
Yeah.
Is it Tom's son?
It's not his son. I think it's his nephew. Yeah. I'm kind of hoping that Stephen Hill of Houston would be one of those call-ups because he spent some time with the Redbirds. His first major league homer. He's in Memphis now. But this is not the end of it. They could always be called up later on in September. Runner going. Bouncer up the middle. Ryan was going to the bag. He steps on it and throws to first. And the ball led him right into that force play and a 6-3 double play.
3-2 go situation there, counting on contact or ball 4. Sanchez gets a good pitch to go after. Unfortunately, he leads Ryan right to the bag. Turns into an easy double play with Michael on the move.
The Cardinals turned 4 double plays last night for a season high. Now Hunter Pence. Strike for Hunter, who ripped that 2-run triple in the 4th inning and later scored on the single by Johnson. Curveball got away from Carpenter and a couple have tonight. It's 1-1. Throwing a couple of those to Hunter tonight.
That power sinker running down and in, that's awfully tough. When you're used to being, as a right-handed hitter against right-handed pitchers, Hunter's used to being pitched away with a lot of breaking balls, so you're thinking about covering that pitch when that runner comes down and in on you.
Reaching for it, he taps to short. Brendan Ryan, quick release to first, and he gets Pence. No runs a hit, nobody left through 5. It's 3-0 Astros. A play by Angel Sanchez at second. He gets back, he leaps, and he gloves it on the looping line drive. The Coors Light Freeze Can brought to you by the Frost Brewed Coors Light.
Set that to music.
Now there's strike one to Colby Rasmus, leading off the 6th inning. He's grounded to third and struck out looking. A challenge here for Wandy, leading 3-0 with the 3 hitters you talked about. Broken bat, and challenge number 1 has been surmounted. That's an easy out number 1 with Pujols and Holiday to follow.
Dispatched and broke his weapon. Snapped his sword across his knee and said, "Be gone with you, peasant."
Wandy can get to within 1 game of 500 if he wins this one. He would be 11-12. He was on a dead pace to lose 20 games earlier this year. Albert Pujols has walked and flied to center. So if they gave a comeback player of the year award for a guy based on what he had done through the first 3 months, and then after that, he might get that award.
We need to create that award.
2-hopper to short. Manzella throws out Pujols.
We call it the Adam LaRoche Award, which is kind of famous for really scuffling in the first half and turning it on in the second.
That's true. And he has 87 runs batted in right now.
Speaking of which,
yes,
I think there should be a new award, like this whole Rookie of the Year thing going on. A lot of good candidates. seems like the voters are hesitant to vote for pitchers. I mean, it's happened, but kind of like the MVP now. Well, the pitchers got the Cy Young, so we like to vote for position players for MVP. So I think we need a Rookie Pitcher of the Year award. We'll call it the Bob Feller.
Okay.
Can you get that done? Can you run that through?
Yeah, it'll happen.
Committee or something?
We're going to send out an email tonight on that.
This Feller was a phenom as a youngster, Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
I like that.
Oh, yeah.
Feller.
He just turned 91, wasn't it? Bob Feller?
Yeah, he's being treated for leukemia.
Okay. It would be nice if he could have that award named for him now and enjoy it as it's awarded this very year. You think we can push it through that quickly?
You're tight with the commissioner.
Well, no more so than you are. We both met him once.
I thought you were talking about Kurt Schilling.
Oh,
remember
that commissioner.
Schill, the commissioner.
That's true. And now I think we're going to call him Dr. Schilling after his piece on Steven Strasburg. While back. Did you ever get to see that piece?
I didn't see the piece, but I heard the quote when he said this guy will not throw another pitch without having Tommy John surgery.
He did. I saw it. It's incredible.
Right on the money.
1-2 to Holiday, who was struck out looking and struck out swinging.
Speaking of Nationals phenom pitchers, Jordan Zimmerman, 6 innings of one-hit shutout baseball tonight. With 9 punch-outs.
He's back from the DL with a vengeance.
Marlins. It's 0-0 Nationals and Marlins. Not that anybody cares about that game in particular, but we were talking about low-run games earlier, and that one fits the bill. Been 4 hits total. Nationals 3, and Marlins have just 1.
Well, there are some people in the playoffs in fantasy ball who care about that.
Yeah, so if you have Anibal Sanchez or Jordan Zimmerman on your fantasy club, you're in pretty good shape. If you have any of the hitters on those clubs, things aren't looking too rosy for you.
No, they're not. 2-2. Wandy's thrown 93 pitches. And that's up and foul.
I said last half that I thought this was an important inning. One, it's, Rasmus Pujols, Holiday, 2, 3, 4 in their order, getting their third look at Wandy. At a point in the game where Brad Mills is not going to have anybody ready to go or anybody who's going to, Wandy's pitching good, so he's not going to make a pitching change. So the next time this group comes along, somebody will be getting hot in the pen and they'll be ready to make a move if Wandy starts to scuffle.
Good point. Now it's 3-2, and he needs to come after Holiday. A walk will not be a part of his game plan here.
And it's going to be interesting to see because last time he was 3-2 on him. He threw him that curveball out of the strike zone, and Holiday chased. Might be a little bit more patient this time. He may have to throw something a little closer to the zone.
He did, and he got a pop-up. Red Wallace over into foul territory to make it a 1-2-3-6. That's 7 straight retired by Wandy Rodriguez. And the Astros shut out the Cardinals again for 6 more tonight after the 9 innings. Lee, the batter. And he taps this one toward the left side. And the throw works for Brendan Ryan, even though Pedro Feliz cut in front of him, and that made the play a little more difficult for Ryan. 1 out. We go to Bart Ennis.
Hey, Bill, fans are invited to join the Astros for Dog Day presented by eBay Classifieds on Sunday, September 19th when the Astros host the Reds. For just $40, you get a bullpen box seat for you and your pooch, an Astros dog bowl, and you get to participate in all the great pregame events. Go to Astros.com/dogday to get those tickets. Bill.
Thank you, Bart. Chris Johnson, strike one. CJ drove in a run in the fourth with a single to right field.
Will dogs get to run the bases after the game?
I think they do, actually, on those. I believe that's happened before. Bart, do you have a dog?
I have 2 dogs, and I'm not going to bring either to the game, but I would like to remind responsible fans to bring your scooper. Trying to help out the grounds crew here.
You're not talking about your first baseman's mitt.
Yeah.
And we like to send this message out to you fans. Don't drink while you're walking your dog. 1 ball and 2 strikes. No, but Bart, you had a good time with the Rockets today when they were taking BP.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Fun in that funny is kind of what I mean. Most of those guys don't have any baseball background. Chuck Hayes did, and Chuck had a couple of nice swings. Sean Respert, Rockets assistant coach, he's played a little baseball. He's the only one that hit one in the Crawford boxes. But most of those guys have never played any baseball. And so the swings were interesting. I thought Jeff Bagwell had the best line. He was standing by the batting cage, and after 2 guys hadn't hit anything out of the infield, 1 guy finally did, and Bagwell said, well, there goes the no-hitter.
By the way, there's a strikeout of Johnson, 2 outs. Bagwell almost got hit.
Yes, he did.
That first rocket that was in the cage almost hit him. Jeff was way off to the first base side, and the guy was so late, he almost drilled Bagwell.
And Bagwell and everyone else in the vicinity moved back behind the cage.
Couldn't get the head out on that Javier Bracamani 57-mile-an-hour gas.
That's exactly right.
That's what happened. Brett Wallace looks at ball 1. He's grounded out. He's been hit by a pitch. And who's the guy who was out at shortstop? He was trying to field everything hit on the infield. He got a good workout in.
Well, I know that their first-round draft choice, Patrick Patterson, was out there trying to shag some balls without Aaron Brooks a little bit, without much luck. But usually it was once they got the ball in the glove, it was the following throw that drew the most laughs.
Yeah. 2 balls and a strike. And then one of those guys was trying to turn pivots, and he threw as if he was throwing to Yao Ming at first, but it was a regular-sized guy, so it went about 8 feet over his head. 3 balls and a strike to Brett Wallace.
Looking to do some damage here. You see the minor league numbers on Brett Wallace, first-round pick of the Cardinals in 2008. Pretty robust numbers.
This one goes to left. Now Holiday over. And after 6, it's 3-0 Astros. and by Verizon. Sizzling fajitas on the grill at Minute Maid Park. It's a good night for baseball, and the Astros lead at 3-0. And they shut out the Cardinals 3-0 last night on 2 hits. Tonight, Wandy Rodriguez has given up 2 hits through the first 6. The Redbirds last night suffered their 11th shutout loss of the year. Those folks enjoying the evening. And it's Yadier Molina coming up. Molina 0 for 2.
If you're counting on Wandy to go the distance and pitch a 2-hit shutout here tonight, not likely, because he's had to work a lot harder.
Dropped by Chris Johnson.
And it's about to get a little harder still.
That'll be an error on Johnson.
Not that Wandy's been in a heap of trouble, but just more deeper counts tonight. So he's up around 100 pitches, working in the 7th inning. So highly unlikely he'd be able to take this one the distance. We had plenty of time with Molina going down the line, just flanked it.
11th error for Johnson. Pedro Feliz comes up 0 for 1 with a walk. Matt Lindstrom tonight worked 1 inning of hitless baseball for Corpus Christi. He threw 15 pitches. And there's strike 1. Wandy had retired 7 straight Redbirds until the error.
It was an error that got things started for the Astros in their 3-run 4th.
No balls, 2 strikes to Pedro Feliz. Quite a gentleman. We had a little chat tonight. He's just a really good guy to have in a ball club, and enjoying his Cardinal teammates right now.
It's not like he didn't get an opportunity here. He just didn't hit.
No. And he understood, and he took it very well when Chris Johnson moved in. 1-2 with Tim Burdack working in the Houston bullpen. And also Mark Melanson.
Pedro hits the ball on the ground a lot. I'd love to get that double play ball here.
Ooh. Got it by him downstairs for a strikeout. He looked fooled by that.
Well, I think he was fooled. I think he was thinking about that curveball. And hitters will tell you, because Wandy has such a good curveball, that's always in the back of their mind. And for thinking curveball, tough to get to that fastball.
101 pitches for Wandy. Now his battery mate Castro comes out. Wandy's due up 3rd in the bottom of the inning. If he can get through this top half, that will be an excellent night's work with Burdack and Melanson warming. Wandy just continues to string together very good performances. He beat the Phillies 5-1 last time out. And also earlier on that last road trip, he had a loss to Florida, but he gave up 2 earned runs in 6 innings in that game, struck out 10. Had 7 straight quality starts. Now it's Schumacher. The strike 1. He's grounded out twice.
As the Cardinals try to figure out Wandy, appear to that out-of-town scoreboard, and they see the Reds have moved ahead of Milwaukee 6-3. They're in danger of entering September 7 games back in the standings.
Bouncer, Wandy goes up for it. Throws to short, and there's Manzella, not in time. He got handcuffed a little bit by that throw. And Molina's forced from 1-6. Manzella takes the throw from Rodriguez.
Wandy has to go up for it and then takes a little something off. Throws a little change up there to Manzella, and he's caught flat-footed and having to go down to catch that ball, and that takes away the double play. Good feed here, and it's an easy double play.
Brendan Ryan is 1 for 2. He's singled to center in the 3rd inning. Bouncer Wandy again. And the string of starting pitching excellence continues for the Astros. Cardinals have 2 hits through 7, and it's 3-0 Houston. Manzella, Castro, and the pitcher spot due up. Bullpen busy for Houston. Chris Carpenter's due up in the next inning for St. Louis. There's a ground ball. Manzella is out on one pitch. Carpenter due to lead off the Cardinal 8. He has piled up the innings, and he's at 196 2/3 for the season.
29th start tonight for Chris Carpenter. He made 28 last year. Just a few with an injury. And his numbers very similar this year to last. The one difference, the home run ball. He allowed just 7 home runs all last year. He's given up 18 this season. Still a good ERA. Low batting average against.
Castro takes a strike. He's got a fly ball to left, and he's walked. Anderson Hernandez is out to the on-deck circle to pinch hit for Wandy Rodriguez. He's thrown 104 pitches. No balls, 2 strikes. Reds 6, Brewers 3 after 6 in Cincinnati. Johnny Gomes hit his 15th. It's 1-2, so Dusty Baker is stepping on the accelerator pedal. Is he hanging out with Los Caballitos? Foul.
I wasn't watching.
Well, that's in the notes here. That young lady had held up a sign. Jason Castro is the catcher of my heart. She's out there with Los Caballitos.
They welcome everybody out there. It's a very welcoming society.
An equal opportunity group.
Showing anybody just on their player preferences.
What happened to our big fan clubs merger? That never really took hold, did it?
No. The old bros are gone. The Caballitos are not quite as pronounced. Pumas are gone.
There's a fair ball up the right field line. It kicks out toward the right fielder, Jay. Castro heading for second. Here's Jay's throw. Right on the money, and he got him. What a throw by John Jay.
Well, perfectly played out there on the carom, and then a good strong throw to nail Jason Castro, who you absolutely have to try to get 2 bases there. And he runs pretty well for a catcher. He's had a number of good swings in recent games. And there's a play at second base. Very close.
Now it's Anderson Hernandez pinch hitting for Wandy Rodriguez. Hernandez, a switch hitting middle infielder, has hit .212 with 1 RBI. He's had 33 at bats with 7 hits. As a pinch hitter, he's 1 for 4, and he takes ball 1. Wandy with another excellent night. That's 7 innings of 2-hit shutout ball. Carpenter decks him. And it's 2-0. 104 pitches for Wandy. 2 hits and no runs allowed. He had 2 walks and struck out 5. His ERA was 3.87 before this game. It's 2-1. So the Astros starting pitchers had a 2.27 ERA for the previous 21 games before this one. It's been an amazing month of August. This is their 22nd quality start in August. That's tops in the National League. 19 of their last 21 games have included quality starts.
Yeah, and I think it's been quality plus most of the time. A lot of starts like this. 7 innings, giving up a run. No runs tonight. Run or 2.
That's the second walk for Carpenter. To go with a hit batsman.
Chevy's a proud sponsor of youth baseball programs throughout the state. If you would like to learn more about Chevy's commitment to youth league baseball programs, visit ChevyTexasBaseball.com.
Now it's Michael Bourne. He's been on all 3 times. 2 hits, and he reached on an error. He scored a run. And Carpenter throws strike 1 to Bourne. Aaron Harang went 4 innings, giving up 8 hits and 3 runs. One of them earned in his return to the Cincinnati rotation. The paid attendance here tonight is 29,307. Giovanni Gallardo got tagged for 6 earnings in 5 innings for Milwaukee.
That's an 8-3 ball game now.
Joey Votto has a pair of doubles. He has 27 doubles this year. He's hitting .327 now with a 2-for-3 evening and 3 runs batted in for Joey. What a strong season he has put together. Carpenter's thrown 89 pitches. Now between Votto and Pujols and Carlos Gonzalez, it's been a very interesting year to follow the top hitters in the league despite all the great pitching performances. Runner going, and it's foul. Michael Bourne walks it off, and Anderson Hernandez returns to first. Now Wilton Lopez is at work in the Astros bullpen.
Yeah, we've been calling this the year of the pitcher. Well, not really, but picking up on 1968, the real year of the pitcher, and kind of saying this is the year of the pitcher revisited. But it may be the year of the rookie more than anything.
Might be. Strikeout of Bourne, first time he's been retired tonight. Strikeout number 3 for Carpenter ends his evening with a score: Houston 3, St. Louis nothing. Cardinals have yet to have a runner reach third in this series through 16 innings. And it's 3-0 Houston. This call to the bullpen is brought to you by Verizon Wireless, bringing in lefty Tim Burdack, the most interesting man in the world, JD.
Yes, the Birdman. The most interesting man has been the right man for Brad Mills lately. On a nice roll. 2-1, 3.51 the ERA for Tim in 50 ball games.
Tomorrow, if you watch it, 12:30 tomorrow, we'll have that spot on Tim being the most interesting man in the world on the pregame show Astros Live tomorrow. Aaron Miles is the pinch hitter for Carpenter.
A lot of times, you want to wait and see who the other club's going to run out there before you decide who your pitcher is going to be. But the Cardinals, their bench was a left-handed bat, 3-switch hitter, so it didn't matter much with Birdman coming in.
Miles pinch hit last night, popped a second. And that's the play in shallow right field. Sanchez made an excellent play going back to catch that ball hit by Miles. 2-1.
Of course, Hernandez hit for Wandy, so he was coming out anyway. Miles having a nice year.
327. Yeah. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He's hitting .333 right-handed. Got 104 at-bats. Ability to play several different positions. Very handy guy to have. Kodak misses with that one. And it's a full count now for Tim. He's been used a lot lately. In fact, in that Philadelphia series, he pitched 3 nights in a row, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday last week. He came in with 1-run leads in all 3 of those games and didn't give up any runs. Then he pitched Saturday in New York in the 4-1 win. With a couple of men on base, he got out of that jam. But here's a leadoff walk to Miles.
2 more lefties to follow, so he's still the man for the job. Now they're going to switch here. They're going to pinch hit for Jay here with the switch hitter Lopez.
Felipe Lopez. And now Brad Mills is coming out.
Later innings, managers take over the ball game. The wheels start turning.
Lopez's better side is his right-handed side. It's 3-0. Mills wants him to hit left-handed. He's 222 from that side of the plate. Wilton Lopez is on his way in. We're on our way out.
A pitching change. Well, if you're traveling this season, you can take the Astros with you. Subscribe to MLB.tv tonight to see every Astros game live or on demand on your computer. Pair MLB.com's At-Bat 2010 with your MLB.tv subscription, and you can watch games live and on demand on your iPhone, iPod Touch, and iPad. For more details, go to Astros.com. Guys, back to you.
That's a lot of eyes, Bart. Thank you. Thank you for dotting the I's for us. And here's Wilton Lopez. He's 5-0. His ERA is 3. He inherits a runner at first, a 3-0 lead. Nobody out in the 8th inning, JD.
Now it still continues to astound as the 5 walks issued all year in 57 innings. Fired up tonight.
Oh, yeah. He hasn't pitched since Saturday. It's been a long time.
He didn't like the way that one came out of his hand or something. He wasn't happy with his location. Had good movement.
Felipe Lopez, a 239 hitter. Looks at that one, and it's 1-1. Lopez was playing a lot of third base before Pedro Feliz arrived on the scene. And he's had 351 at-bats this year. He's 3 for 10 pinch hitting with 2 runs batted in. Hitting .222 as a left-handed batter.
Lopez versus Lopez.
Oh, yeah. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, this Wilton Lopez has certainly become a much more familiar name to people. Felipe's been around for several years, but Wilton has grown and grown. And with that 5-0 record and the few walks he's had, as you talked about, a great walk-to-strikeout ratio, all the appearances, he's really reached a prominent role in the Astros bullpen, as befitting his appearance here. 3-0 in the 8th inning.
And that's why Brad Mills did not hesitate to make the move once Tony sent Felipe Lopez up there and turned him around to what has been his weaker side this year. And you get a guy on the mound that you have a lot of confidence in, even though Wilton has allowed runs in 2 of his last 3 appearances. Continues to throw the ball very well. Gave up a home run to Jimmy Rollins in Philadelphia, game the Astros won in 16 innings, and then last time out against the Mets gave up that run. But it wasn't like he was being hit hard. Castillo started that inning, a little ground ball to short for an infield hit, and gave up a couple more singles.
He won the 2-1 win in Florida a week ago Sunday with a couple of scoreless innings there, and that extended his scoreless inning streak to 19 2/3 over 18 appearances. Ground ball. Sanchez to his left. Takes the play at first to Wallace. 1 out. Really had no play at second on Miles.
Playing for the double play, so he has to range towards the line there to get that one. Just take the shore out. Got a 3-run lead.
Colby Rasmus is 0 for 3. Rasmus can light it up. He has a .499 slugging percentage. Michael Bourne moving out to straightaway center now. Well, Rasmus. Lifts out and foul. Strike 1.
One fine play down there. Very nonchalant and humble about it, too. That's what I'm talking about. Act like you've been there before.
Oh,
yeah.
He saved that guy.
That's my job. That's what I do. He's a superhero.
Saved that man from brain surgery.
Yep.
That snag.
It's like Spider-Man.
1 ball, 1 strike. Great extension on the catch. That's why you bring your glove to the ballpark, to save lives.
That man a mask and a cape. He does take an aggressive swing.
He does. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He struck out 116 times now this year. And it sounds like reading the articles that Tony really wants him to be more of a contact hitter who can use his speed by getting on base more often.
Go up with a heater.
Strike 3.
Wow, was that called swinging or a little of both? Because it was a hesitation.
Yeah, it was hesitation. Let's see it here.
Watch. He had to wait for the coin to come down. I mean, if Fox strikes had it as a strike, but you almost never get pitch that high called a strike.
Yeah. But James Hoy punched him out.
Yeah, I mean, when they went up there intentionally hoping to get a swing and a miss. And they get a ring up on it.
Albert Pujols is 0 for 2 with a walk tonight. Ball 1 to Pujols. It's 1-1. Albert was moved briefly to the cleanup spot earlier this year, but back in the number 3 spot now. Pulls up to third. Chris Johnson throws him out. And in the 8th inning, after a leadoff walk, Lopez comes in and gets the next 3 to preserve the 3-0 lead for the Astros. Skip Schumacher from second base to right field. John Jay left for the pinch hitter, Felipe Lopez. Aaron Miles came in to pinch hit for Chris Carpenter. He stays in to play second base, batting ninth. And the pitcher, Kyle McClellan, is in the leadoff spot in the order. He is 1-3 with a 2.28 ERA.
Well, in his third season with the Cardinals, been a pretty dependable reliever for them. He's from the St. Louis area, 26 years of age. Fastball, curveball, slider, and a straight change.
There's strike one to Angel Sanchez, who's 1 for 3 with a run scored. Chris Carpenter in 7 innings allowed the Astros 6 hits, 3 runs. 2 of them earned. He walked 2, hit a batter, and fanned 3. And Sanchez ducks under that one for a 1-ball, 1-strike count for McClellan. McClellan pitched in Washington 4 days ago, last time out. Hits the corner there and makes it 1-2. He had not allowed runs in a couple of weeks until he gave up 2 in Washington, August 26th. A good movement there and catches Sanchez looking for out number 1. Now the Coors Light Cold Hard Blast shows you an unusual blast and rolls up Cowles Hill. A triple, and it gets up and around the flagpole, comes down the hill. 2-run triple for Hunter Pence. And now he shoots a line drive, right field corner. Schumacher coming over. Pence to second. Schumacher's throw on the money, and he guns him down. So 2 different Cardinal right fielders have thrown out Astros trying for doubles tonight.
Good hustle on both occasions. Jason Castro last inning thrown out by Jay, and now Hunter Pence looking for 2, and Schumacher, the outfielder turned infielder turned outfielder, turns in a very good throw. Let's see, tag on the hip as the foot is arriving. I think both those calls could have gone either way.
Yep.
That's a pretty high tag there. I think he was in there.
Looked like it. Carlos Lee takes ball 1. He's 0 for 3. And John Jay in the last inning gunned down Castro, and now Schumacher just moved to right field from second base, threw out Pence.
For whatever reason, it seems like umpires are more inclined to ring a guy up on a bang-bang play like that.
Curveball and misses, and it's 2 balls and a strike to Carlos Lee.
It's a more emphatic call.
It's
a more fun call to make the out call as opposed to the safe call.
That's right. More of an action call. You're punching the guy out.
I don't know if I could convince anybody, if there's a body of evidence to support my theory. Umpires would probably tell me I'm all wet.
Oh, sure, they would say that.
No, we've been doing this forever. You rank amateurs may be influenced by that, but not us.
That was the 4th outfield assist for Schumacher. Jay earlier got his 5th. Jammed on that one. Carlos fouls it back. 2-2. I was asking Jeff Bagwell tonight, what has Carlos done to improve so much from the first couple of months of the season? I think he's being more selective now. I think he was swinging at bad pitches earlier in the year. Now he's waiting for his pitch a lot more. And I think that his teammates shared in that, because a lot of guys were pressing those first couple of months, trying to make something happen offensively. The whole team was struggling offensively. Lance, Hunter, and Carlos all at the same time just could not get it going. It was a very strange first 2 months offensively for this club.
And Carlos has never been a hitter to draw a lot of walks, but he typically works deep counts. And early on, I would agree, without really looking at the numbers, because my sense is he did attack a little earlier than normal.
Strikeout looking. McClellan does a nice job in the 8th. Now the Cardinals come up in the 9th with the score 3-0 Houston. 50. Ford is the best in Texas. The Astros are trying for back-to-back shutout wins over the Cardinals after winning 3-0 last night on a 2-hitter by J. Happ. Jason Bourgeois goes into play left field for Carlos Lee, who was 0 for 4. He's batting in the 9th spot in the order. And Brandon Lyon comes in, and he's batting in the 4th spot with a 6-5 record, 19 holds. And in saves, he's done a very nice job, and he's been taking over, of course, with the injury to Matt Lindstrom as the closer.
Yeah, I talked about Lopez and Burdack and the job they've done. Brandon Lyon's been on a real nice roll of late. Also, he has a 3-run cushion here, save opportunity, but he's another guy who doesn't beat himself, does not give up long balls, doesn't walk people, typically.
Matt Holliday rips a line drive to left center. Bourgeois over, gets by him, goes to the bullpen. Holliday into second base with the leadoff double. Jumps all over that first pitch from Brandon Lyon. 37th double for Holliday.
Holliday frustrated until this swing of the bat, 0 for 3 with a couple of punch outs. And he seeks a little retribution on that fastball, and he got it. He smoked that thing.
It's his first hit of the series. Hit number 3 for the Redbirds. That's their first extra base hit of the series. And Yadier Molina bats. He's 1 for 8 against Lyon. And he's 0 for 3 tonight. Lyon hits the corner, and there's strike one. Wilton Lopez went 1 hitless inning with a strikeout. Tim Burdack walked, the only man he faced. Lyon pitcher number 4 to work tonight. His last outing was at New York 3 days ago. He pitched a hitless inning for save number 9 of the year. Good play there by Castro. Lyon has 9 saves in 10 opportunities. The only blown save he had was in a setup role early in the season, so he's got 9 in a row. The Astros had back-to-back shutout wins here against Milwaukee, July 30th and 31st, winning 5-0 and 6-0. The game started by J. Happ and Wandy Rodriguez.
And Molina got off to a very slow start this year and was able to get things headed in the right direction. Has the average up to 261 now. Pitch the sequence as if there's not a man on base.
Just missed there.
So good at moving that ball in and out. Cut fastball just off that outside edge.
Pedro Feliz on deck.
Working away at that outside corner. Molina showing good patience. Able to lay off some borderline pitches. Got to be willing to get more of the plate here now.
And it is a strike.
He didn't get a whole lot more.
No.
Painted that corner.
3-2.
Well, if you can do it again, go ahead. Might be able to throw one in on him though and jam him if he's looking to lean out to punch one the other way. They've lived outside the entire at bat.
This is Lyon's 7th appearance against the Cardinals. He's given up 1 earned run in 5 2/3 innings this year. A swing and a miss. He struck him out. He swung a ball 4.
It would have been ball 4, but it was awfully close to strike 2, and that's the difference maker. When you command that outside corner just on it or just off of it. It looked to me like Molina was guessing in with that swing.
Mm-hmm.
He said, you're probably thinking the way I was after all those pitches away. They're going to try to come in on me, and then a defensive swing and a late swing.
Pedro Feliz is 0 for 2 with a walk. Schumacher on deck.
Doesn't bode well for Molina if he's thinking like me in the batter's box.
Feliz is 1 for 7 against Brandon Lyon. Detroit leads 3-2 at Minnesota. They're in the bottom of the 7th. Fly ball softly hit to right. Hunter Pence in. 2 outs. The Astros have 7 shutout wins this season. Cardinals have been blanked 11 times. Now it's Schumacher. 0 for 3. Great crowd last night. Really enjoyed the show by Jay Happ, going the distance with a 2-hitter. Tonight it's been 4 Houston pitchers, and Lyon can make it a combined 3-hitter if he gets this man.
Enjoying it here in Houston, and I imagine in Cincinnati the fans are buzzing too as they look at the out-of-town scoreboard and see the Astros on the verge of putting the Cardinals away one more time.
Schumacher looks at ball 1. Now the Astros made some friends on the Atlanta Braves with their 4-game sweep in Philadelphia. Reds are winning 8-3. They're in the bottom of the 8th playing Milwaukee. So they could have a 7-game lead by the end of the night. Foul, and it's 1 of them. Well, this could be the week that really sank the Cardinals' hopes. If they don't turn it around when they get back home and play the Reds over the weekend. Right there for a strike, and it's 1-2 Schumacher. Astros fans ready for this club to go over 500 at home for the first time all year. It would be 20 wins in the last 29 home games if they get it. Oh, it almost hit him. Breaking ball in the dirt, stopped by Castro. 2-2 for Brandon Lyon. Joined the Astros as a free agent on a 3-year contract over the winter. Brandon saved a 2-1 win in Florida a week ago Sunday. He saved a couple 3-2 wins in Philly. Schumacher fouls it, stays alive.
It looked like Schumacher was looking in there. It looked like he opened up to try to get to that cutter. But the ball was up a little bit, and he couldn't get the head of the bat out on it. And that's the thing, that if you're a hitter and you're facing Brandon Lyon, it's so tough because he works so well to both sides of the plate. Tough to guess with him. Cutter's in, little running fastball down and away. It's a lefty, just as likely to throw one as the other. And coming in here.
Schumacher started on the curve. He checked his swing. John Hirschbecker the call. It's a full count. Brandon Lyon is not on deck. It's Randy Wynn.
Tried to fool him with a curveball, and boy, that was awfully close. Good runner out of the way, keep it down. Outfield shifting him the other way.
And he fouls it the other way.
Chase ball 4.
Cardinal hitters in the middle of the pack in the National League for drawing walks.
Randy Wynn is on deck. Another switch hitter.
Potential tying run comes to the plate, represented by Wynn after the 2-out walk to Schumacher.
Arnsberg going to come out and have a chat with Brandon. It looked to me like Brandon tried to overthrow that fastball a little bit instead of just relying on his good movement. Go ahead and let Schumacher put it in play and let somebody make a play for him, especially with a 3-0 lead. And if a base hit ties the game there, I can understand where he'd be a little less inclined to challenge.
Astros Live is on deck. 2 on, 2 outs in the 9th inning. Wynn will be the pinch hitter for Brendan Ryan. Ryan was 1 for 3 tonight. And Wynn, experienced outfielder, a switch hitter, comes up with a .270 batting average. He's had 111 at bats in the National League with the Cardinals after coming from the American League. And as a left-handed hitter, he's hit .308 with St. Louis, 3 for 12 in his career against Lyon. Wynn was 1 for 3 last night playing right field against Jay Happ. He had a first inning single. 2-man on here. Holliday led off the inning with a double. Schumacher drew a 2-out walk. And fouls it. There's strike 1 to him.
Now after Wynn, it's Miles. After Miles, it's the pitcher's spot with the double switch. Kyle McClellan came into the game. He's in the number 1 spot in the Cardinal lineup. They have 1 bat left. Brian Anderson, a catcher, who's a left-handed hitter.
Baltimore beat Boston tonight, 5-2 in Baltimore, beating Josh Beckett. It's 1-1. Win tonight would give the Astros a 35-24 record within their National League Central Division. They would be 9-5 against St. Louis. Wynn takes it. 2-1. Tony La Russa, the all-time Cardinal leader in managerial games and wins. 15 years at the helm for St. Louis for Tony. Foul ball by Wynn. It's 2-2.
See the right movement on the cut fastball, moving away from the barrel and towards the hands of Wynn. Tying him up a little bit. Tough pitch to handle. If you cheat to get out in front of it, you're most likely just going to yank it foul.
Wynn is struck out to end it. He tried to check his swing, and the game is over, and the Astros have back-to-back shutout wins over the Cardinals. 3-0 last night on a 2-hitter. There's the final pitch as Wynn goes for it. And 3-0 tonight on a 3-hitter. The Astros get their 8th shutout win of the year. Brandon Lyon picks up his 10th save. Wandy Rodriguez winning at final score. Houston 3, St. Louis 0.